Hi Scorpio, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. Make sure you subscribe down below so you won't miss any further videos. Happy birthday to all of you who have celebrated a birthday already, and for those of you who have an upcoming birthday, I really hope that you enjoy and stay safe. So, Scorpio, when I was doing your reading, I did your reading 2 days ago actually, and I have to do it again because when I was doing it, I kept on getting a lot of interruptions. Like every time I tried to sit down and start, someone would knock at the door, or a truck would go past, or a motorcycle will go past. So I'm thinking that a lot of you have experienced some type of interruption in your life, possibly some type of connection that came out of nowhere and kind of threw you off. Because I feel like a lot of you were in the flow of things and you were starting to rebuild your confidence, and then you could have encountered something or someone that just kind of just threw you off or made you feel like you were back at square one. I also was getting the strong energy of betrayal within the meditation that I was doing on your energy. And you could be feeling very paranoid because of a betrayal is what I was picking up. Or you could just be feeling very, I guess you could say foolish, like someone duped you. Because I know that Scorpios pride themselves on, oh, sorry, my alarm. Scorpios pride themselves on, you know, being able to read people quite well. And it takes a while for a Scorpio to actually open up. Scorpios do this thing where they will collect all of your information, but they won't tell you theirs. And that's what I love about the sign of Scorpio, is that they're not afraid to really dive really deep into the darkest part of the psyche, and they're not afraid to really explore people's depths and their the side of people that a lot of people don't want to see or explore. But again, that can be a good and a bad thing, because that can make you quite paranoid, because you're just aware that not everyone is genuine, and you're aware that most people have things about them, or most people have like this selfish streak to them. So I feel like some of you could have really let your guard down in a situation, and now you're just feeling somewhat foolish because you feel like, how did this happen? Like, how did someone pull the wool over my eyes? Like, I'm usually so on point. I'm usually so self-aware, and I'm usually so aware of everyone else's intentions. So if that is the case, if that is your situation, just know that you are human, so you are subject to error, and you can't be on point all the time. And that doesn't mean that you're foolish. It doesn't mean that, you know, you have to heighten your sense of paranoia or fear so that it won't happen again. It's just all a part of life. It's just all a part of life. And you got to make sure that situations like that don't cause you to close your heart off in a way that you don't let people in the future. Because like I said, if you already have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, you're already a bit paranoid about humans. And then when a human does something crazy or does something to pull the wool over your eyes, it just makes that even worse. So just be very careful. It's okay to, like I said, be mindful of people, but don't allow what other people do to completely close you off and allow you to miss out on something good in the future. Don't give someone that much control over you. Okay, that was the longest intro ever. Let's get into these cards. So this will be a love and spirituality reading for the month of November. So let's pull for the past energy first. And this will be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Death card in reverse. King of Wands. Okay, so some of you could have been dealing with the fire sign, the King of Wands and the Death card coming out in the past position. Some of you could have been possibly dealing with a fire sign that you are having a hard time letting go of, or someone having a hard time letting go of you. Your card coming up in the reverse lets me know that you're not feeling like the best version of yourself, and you're not necessarily focused on yourself. It looks like you could be focused on this person, but this is past energy, so this could have happened in the recent past. I'm feeling like there was someone that you put up on a pedestal or someone that you thought very highly of, and now it's difficult to kind of let them go because you put them up on such a pedestal, or you had so much faith or courage when it came to the connection. This could also talk about your past energy, meaning that you could have been trying to rebuild your confidence or rebuild your self-esteem. With the death card being here in reverse, that kind of lets me know that you were having a difficult time doing so. So it could have been that you were trying to, like I said, focus on your future and build your self-esteem back up, but there were things from your past that just wouldn't allow that to happen. Things from your past kept coming back up, kept on popping up into your energy and kind of pulling you right back, or making you feel like you're being pulled right back. I think that's all I'm getting for that. So yeah, that's in the past position. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of focus on the past. So things from the past could have just started coming up out of nowhere, things that you thought you were over. And the next thing you know, they will pop up. And that doesn't have to be people. It could have been people. It could have been a specific person. But it could just be past thoughts or past situations that affected you in some way. And you thought that you were past them. But then you came to find that, you know, it was just suppressed, that it wasn't gone. So let's pull for the month of November. Wow, okay. So in the present moment, we have the Five of Pentacles and we have the Four of Wands. So this lets me know that there was some type of abandonment that took place, meaning someone could have abandoned you, or you felt the need to abandon someone else. It's possible that you felt as though this person was not leading you in the right direction, and therefore you had to disconnect from them. I'm getting, from what I'm hearing, it's like the blind leading the blind, meaning that you could have had a connection with someone and both of you could have stated that you wanted to build something healthy, but because neither one of you have ever been in a healthy connection, or neither one of you know what it takes to build a healthy connection, you see interruptions. I don't know if you can hear that, but loud people in my building, interruptions. I just keep on getting interruptions for the Scorpio reading. I feel like because neither one of you knew how to build a healthy connection, you were both kind of leading each other astray, if that makes sense. So one person has to be the one to walk away and disconnect, but sorry, those people in my house, they're really distracting me. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry if you hear noise in the background. I try my best to close the doors so that you can't hear, but it's really out of my control because they live next door. So, like I was saying, interruptions during the Scorpio readings. So I just feel like whoever this person was, or whatever connection you were in, it was a connection where, like I said, both of you were just not showing up as the best versions of yourselves. So it's like somebody had to be the leader and pull back, or choose to disconnect. So that could have been you, or that could have been the other person. Because the Four of Wands is here with the Five of Pentacles, that could talk about someone actually having to physically move location. So someone being put out of their home, someone kicking someone out of their home, or someone moving out. But I just feel like all in all, this was a connection where obviously it started out prosperous, or it started out positive, but then, like I said, it turned into a game of the blind leading the blind. One person not being able to hold on to the connection or lead the connection in the right direction because both people just didn't feel right within. So both people possibly not bringing out the best in one another. If this is not a love situation, it could be about friendships. It could be about career. It doesn't have to be that one person moved out of the home or you were living with the person. It could just be the feeling of abandonment after feeling a time period of happiness. So you could have just had a connection with something or someone. Like I said, it could be career, it could be friendship, and then next thing you know, it just turned into a situation where you just no longer felt good about it, or it's like as time goes on, certain things about the situation start to come to the surface. So at first everything seems perfect and everything seems fine, but then as you get comfortable with the person or with the career, you start to just see certain things that you can only see by spending time within the connection, you know? And so those things come to the surface, and then some of those things could have been a deal breaker is what I'm seeing. So that could be in the present moment. And I'm also feeling like with these cards, this is talking about you possibly revisiting your past, you thinking about your past, possibly your home life, with the Four of Wands being here, a point in time where you have been abandoned. So this is mirroring, or this situation is mirroring a situation from your past where you have been abandoned, possibly while you were a child, or while you were living with someone in the past, and that made a very it heavily imprinted on you, and that could be coming up now during Scorpio season, because Scorpio season is a time period of that intensity, or diving into those deep emotions that a lot of people are afraid to face, because a lot of people are afraid of that intense level of pain that comes with diving deep into your emotions. So like I said, this being your season, that sensitivity and that intensity of pain is going to be somewhat heightened. So I feel like a lot of you are revisiting, like going back into your mind, like into your subconscious mind, and really revisiting things that have happened to you in the past that have made you feel abandoned, or made you feel worthless, or made you feel invisible and not seen. And that situation, or whatever situation you're in, could be mirroring that. So very heavy energy, but that's what's to be expected of Scorpio season. So let's see for the month of November. What needs to be focused on. And I'm also going to do a extended reading, and I'll leave that in the description box down below. I'm actually doing 2 spreads in my extended reading, so I'm going to extend this video, and then I'm also going to do the shadow work spread in my extended as well. So that will be in the link down below. So let's see the messages for the month of November. Scorpio. Oh, okay. Queen of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So there's definitely an imbalance of feminine energy in the month of November, with 2 queens coming out and both of them being in the reverse. So in November, it looks like one of your major blockages is going to be having the confidence to move forward, but then also having the discipline to move forward. So that's going to be something that you're going to have to really focus on this month. A lot of confidence, and a lot of action, and a lot of discipline. So I'm thinking, what I'm hearing is that you need to think less and do more. So if there have been things that you know you have been holding off on, and you know you have not been taking step towards, then November is the time for you to do so. Because the feminine energy is imbalanced, because like I said, it's 2 queens, that lets me know that there has not been a lot of action, because feminine energy imbalance usually means a lot of thinking, a lot of over processing, a lot of being stuck within your emotions to the point where you're not making any movements, or you're not making any changes. You're holding on to things based off of how you feel about them, rather than based off logic. So if you know a situation is just not helping you and it's harming you, and you're holding on to it because just off the strength that you're emotionally attached to it, that means your feminine energy is imbalanced, and you have to step into your masculine energy by thinking with your logic, or using your mind over your heart, and removing yourself from things that no longer serve you. Because the Four of Wands is here, I'm thinking that some of you are needing to move, or wanting to move, and you are fearing that. Being fearful of taking a leap of faith in some direction, because you have to leave something else in the past. So like I said, this month of November, I feel, is going to be about really having the discipline and the confidence to move and take action, move away from things that don't serve you, and move towards the things that actually do. And this is going to be something that's extremely scary, because I'm getting an energy of a lot of anxiety and tension, but I feel like it's a good type of scary, meaning that once you get to the other side of it, and once you make that leap, it's going to help you to become more confident. So feel the fear and do it anyway, is what I'm seeing. What else is coming through here? There could be a fire sign and an earth sign that you need to distance yourself from. There's a lot of fire energy coming up in here, because the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands are here. So those are counterparts. So it very well could be that you need to leave a situation behind, or leave a person behind that has fire-like energy, or someone who is very explosive and is very temperamental, is what I'm seeing. this could also be you. This could be an aspect of yourself that you need to leave behind in November. So if your emotions have just been feeling really off balance and you've been like exploding a lot or being very angry, that's something that you may need to get under control in the month of November. And I feel like that has a lot to do with your environment. So your environment, the people in your environment or a situation you're in could be bringing out that side of you. Trying to see if any other messages are coming through. Also in the month of November, be very careful or mindful of people who want to drain you of your energy and who want to take from you but who don't want to give, because I see that's going to be something that's going to piss you off and cause you to go off in the month of November. So if anybody is trying to be selfish and take from you, distance yourself from them or learn how to set boundaries, because I just see you snapping in the month of November. Like somebody or some people could be constantly trying to take advantage of you or constantly trying to take from you while they give nothing. And I feel like you're just on the edge of really going off because you're letting it build up. So you may need to speak your piece early so that that build up won't allow you or won't cause you to explode, or you may need to just distance yourself from it. But don't let it build up, because in November, I really see you possibly going off, especially as we move to Sagittarius season. Sagittarians are very blunt and very straightforward with their communication. So I wouldn't be surprised in Sagittarius season. A lot of people are just a little more straightforward with their communication. So if things are building up in Scorpio season and things are festering as we transition into Sagittarius season, it's just going to come out. So just be careful of that. Be mindful of that. Don't allow things to get to that point. Oh, okay. The Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Hangman. I'm going to put these back in the deck, though, because of the way they flew out, but I wanted to just show you them. New beginnings. The two aces means new beginning, and the Hangman in reverse. That means coming out of a period of stagnation. So that's very positive. So the month of November is going to bring new beginnings to you, if you decide to take on those new beginnings. If you choose to stay stagnant, then obviously none of these things, or the new beginning will mean nothing, or the new energy that's coming in will mean nothing if you don't choose to grab onto it and move forward. The Ace of Pentacles can also talk about career, so you could be putting, or you should be putting, a lot more energy into your career in the month of November, into focusing on making money, especially if you have a job that the Eight of Cups is here. If you have a job that, or if you have a career that requires you to have a lot of creative energy, leaving a lot of these situations or things in the past that have been draining you are going to help you in the month of November to really tap into that creative energy, because you'll have more energy to spend on the creative aspect of your life. And it doesn't have to be art or anything creative. It could be that you are creating a new version of yourself, and you're going to have more energy to kind of sculpt and build yourself in the month of November. If some of you have been wanting to go to the gym, definitely start doing that in November. Have a set plan and actually stick to it, and put all of your energy into becoming the best version of yourself. So the Eight of Cups is here. Get one more to clarify. Okay, the Eight of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So the Eight of Cups coming up in the reverse with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So in the month of November, you could be very tempted to continuously go back to things that, like I said, are giving you nothing in return. It could be very tempting to turn right back around and go back, is what I'm hearing. Because what I'm seeing is like you get off to a very positive start, meaning that at the beginning of November, you're like, okay, like you're pumped. I'm ready to transform myself. I'm going to the gym. I'm focusing on myself. I'm focusing on my career. I'm really like focusing on me, and I'm doing the things that I love and the things that I want to do. But then I'm seeing that you kind of burn out. There's a possibility for burnout in the month of November, meaning that you start and then you stop. So you're going to need, like I said, a lot of self-discipline, and you're going to need to think about the long term in order to maintain this energy, because if you just fall into pleasing your present pleasures, I guess you could say, or being a slave to your present feelings, then you're not going to do the things that it takes to build up things for your future, you see? So like, for example, I'll just use the gym as an example again. If you are like, okay, I want to sculpt my body and have a better body, you could think that, and then for the first week you're going to the gym and you're motivated, but then next thing you know, the next week you're tired and you just don't feel like going. So then you're like a slave to that feeling of feeling tired and unmotivated, so you don't push yourself to go. So that's something that you're going to have to be very mindful and conscious of pushing yourself to do the things that you know you need to do, because in the long run it's going to help you. Like, just because in the short term it's a hassle to get up out of bed and go, in the long run, just think about the big picture in the long run. Because the Ten of Pentacles being here in the reverse, and then the Ace of Pentacles being here, lets me know that, like, you're motivated in the beginning, but you're not thinking long term sometimes. So just keep your eye on the prize and keep your eye on what's going to be best for you in the long term, and that's going to motivate you to get things done. And that could be, like I said, goals, career, gym, things like that, like working on yourself and being very self-sufficient. But it could also be walking away from situations that no longer serve you. In the present moment, it could be painful, so you don't want to walk away from it, but you have to think about the long term. Like, you have to think about in the long run, that you're going to have to get rid of these situations anyway. Because what I'm hearing is that, like, you know, certain situations have an expiration date, so why keep on holding on to it, knowing that inevitably you're going to have to let them go? You know what I'm saying? So just think about the long term is what I'm seeing. So I'm going to extend this reading over on Vimeo, and on Vimeo I'm actually going to show you the cards. Actually, you know what, I'm going to show you the cards now. I'm going to show you the cards now, because sometimes when you actually see the tarot cards, it can kind of trigger your intuition. So I want you guys to see the cards for yourself and see if it triggers something within your mind. And yeah, so I'll be right back. Okay, zoom this out. I do apologize if you hear, like I said, people in the background. Those are neighbors, so I can't really do much about the noise. So those are your cards, and like I said, sometimes actually seeing the cards for yourself can actually trigger your own intuition, or some messages can actually come through to you. So there they are. Just take a second to glance at them. If I look at them in a sequence, it sort of seems like a situation where you start out just not wanting to let go of past situations, not wanting to let go of the past version of yourself, because it is painful and it does take work in order to rebirth yourself. But you gaining the confidence to step out of situations that you know no longer serve you, and to kind of cut ties with the old version of yourself as well. It's like cutting ties with old people, but also cutting ties with the old you, so that you can pursue your happiness and the things that truly make you happy, and the things that make you happy in the long run, not just the things that make you happy temporarily. You know, some of you, like I said, could be actually having to move locations and being kind of fearful of that, because moving locations comes with this feeling of vulnerability when you don't know anyone, or you're just afraid to step out on your own. But I do feel like there definitely is success that's waiting on the other side of that, because you've been in an imbalance, is what I'm seeing, of feminine energy. Like I said, you're needing more masculine energy. So you're needing to take more action. You're needing to be more independent and more confident and more disciplined. And I feel like I said, cutting ties with old situations and taking leaps of faith towards the things that you want are going to really build up your confidence and your self-esteem. So just be very mindful in the month of November of that temptation to constantly go back to things that you have an emotional attachment to, because those things just don't serve you. Those things don't serve you, and they keep you stuck, and they continuously hurt you because of the attachment. So remember, if you can attach to something, you can also detach. And Scorpios are very good at this, so I feel like you won't have a problem with this once you make the conscious decision to do so. Once you make the conscious decision to actually close that chapter and detach from things that don't serve you, you're going to be just fine, and you're going to propel forward. And especially if the connection is so intense that it is distracting you from other things, then you know it's time. When you are being taken from, when your energy is being taken away from things that you know you're supposed to be doing, or you're supposed to be focusing on, then that should be motivation enough to kind of stay away. So yeah, I do feel like November is going to bring good things your way if you choose to stay focused and disciplined, and if you just keep your eyes focused forward and not backwards. I feel like you've reviewed the past enough, and now it's time to move forward. So yeah, that is your reading, Scorpio. Again, I am going to be extending this, and I'm also going to be doing a second spread in the extended version as well, or in the extended video, which is my first time doing this, so I'm very excited. I think it's called the Working with Your Shadow spread. I'll put a quick picture up of it so that you can see. So again, I hope that this was helpful, Scorpio, and I will see you guys over on Vimeo.